So, good afternoon, everyone. Right now, we're going to wait 2 more minutes. So, we wait for the rest of people to connect to our webinar. So, well, now that 2 minutes have passed, I'm going to start with our online session. Okay, so first, hello everyone, good afternoon, good morning if you're at the other side of the world. I'm Galo Flores. I'm a consultant at the Sphinx, and today this presentation is going to be about how to manage an online community using our online community management tool, Sphinx Community. So, for those who don't know us, I am going to start explaining a little bit more about Les Sphinx. So, Les Sphinx is a French company that has over 35 years of experience, is present in 50 countries, and we have more than um, 50,000 users around the world. And as you can see in here, right now we have offices located in the many different countries, such as Canada, Brazil, Spain, and of course, where the company started, in France. So we mo so this is a reference of the companies that trust our softwares because we do develop market research softwares. And most of our customers are market research agencies. However, that is not a limitation. As you can see in here, we also collaborate and these companies trust our work. As you can see in here, we have companies in industries such as fashion, FMCG, consulting, energy, telecommunications, media, and others. So talking about our softwares a little bit more, right now I'm not going to go in depth regarding our softwares, but in order so you can have a little bit of an idea about how our about how it works. So first, our software is going to be a tool that is going to be with you through all the research process. First, starting by the survey creation in our survey creation tool called DataViv. This is an advanced software, and also you can create multilingual questionnaires if you have clients in different countries. Then you are going to do the multi-channel broadcasting using Sphinx Online. Then, after collecting the answers, you are going to do the data management. For example, in this section, you are going to delete repetitive answers, automatic responses, or answers that don't make much sense, or people that just like answer because they just answer because they didn't have like a specific reason, and that is going to damage your sample in the end. Then you are going to do the quantitative and qualitative analysis in our analysis tool called DataViv. And also in that tool, you're going to be able to do the data visualization in order to create reports, dashboards, infographics, and many other types of visualization that you can present to the rest of your team, your stakeholders, your clients, or just for internal use. So the applications of our software are multiple. First, I'm going to start with the experiences. So first, we have customer experience. In here, for example, let's say a brand would like to know how was the experience that a customer has when the customer goes into their store. Then we have patient experience. This is mostly done in hospitals. After that, we have employee experience. In this case, this is mostly used by HR consultants. And in here, our tool is going to allow them to do 360 evaluation, psychosocial risk assessment, and work climate, and many others. And then, as I mentioned before, we do specialize in market research. So we obviously do market research is one of the applications. Then we have product testing. For example, let's say that a company would like to launch a new product or would like to test a new packaging, a new flavor, and they can use our tool in order to conduct a product testing study. Then we have academic research because our tool is also used by university students, for example, for their sociology, marketing, or psychology classes. And also at the same time, the faculty uses the tool in, for example, for their PhD or their research projects. So going like in depth about like the main topic today, that is how to manage an online community. Here's the agenda for the day. First, we're going to talk about having your own panel. Then we're going to explore the different panel communities. Then we're going to talk about how to manage a panel with a Sphinx community. And in the end, we're going to explain all of this using a fictional case. So first, I'm going to start talking about having your own panel. So first, the question is, who is interested in an online community? And the answer is, first, we have companies with many phone calls or field work. Then we have teams with outdated email databases. Then we also have organizations using large, confusing Excel spreadsheets. Then we have those that would like to speed up the field work because they need answers as fast as possible. Then we have businesses aiming to reduce outsourcing costs because, for example, we know that if you hire an external panel, this can cost a bit much to the company. Then we also have companies wanting a closer relationship with their customers. Since you are building an online community, this is a way to be more close to your customers and engage them in, for example, product development, customer experience, and many other aspects. Then you have professionals interested in the latest technology. And finally, we just have curious people that would like to understand how an online community works and how it could benefit them. So first we have the classic process. This is the traditional way on how we collect opinions before having our own panel. So the situation here is the following. We're conducting a study, and first we are going to need opinions, and these opinions can be collected through surveys or interviews. But here we have like many different options in order to collect these opinions. So first we have the field work, and here we have interviews or call center agents. Then we can have our own database, and through this database we can send emailing campaigns or SMS campaigns. And finally, you can hire an external panel, for example, through companies like Toluna or Send. And here you're going to buy responses from very specific profiles. However, all of these ways to collect information have some limitations. So regarding the fieldwork, the limitations are that it can be expensive and at the same time is slow. Then regarding the database, the limitations are that the databases, as I mentioned before, is that the databases could be outdated. And also we know that um, emailing campaigns sometimes could have a very low response rate. And then we have the limitation regarding hiring an external panel is that first, it's expensive, and also you as the client, as the customer that is conducting the study, you have very little control over the quality of the sample. So after saying all of this, if you have your own panel, this is going to be the way that the data collection is going to work and how you can manage your online community. So the process starts kind of in the same way because you still are going to need opinions, opinions through surveys or interviews. However, in this case, in your online community, you are going to have pre-profile panelists based on, and you're going to have their demographic information, and also their habits, what they like, what they don't like. So basically, it's a database with a lot of information of your own panel. And for example, let's say that you are going to conduct a study, and for this study, you are going to do a precise targeting, focusing on people with certain characteristics for this specific study. And then you are going to send a survey to this group of people, to your panel, to your panelists, and they are going to receive a reward that you can manage for answering the survey. And all of that is going to result in faster results and insights that at the end of the day is going to be very beneficial for the company at the moment when conducting research, because what you need in the end are reliable insights. So after explaining all of this, I am going to talk a bit more about the different panels communities that exist out there. So for example, first we have a panel of experts, and here the panel is specialized in a specific area, and this is going to be very useful for in-depth insights. So here the logic works as the following. First, you are going to recruit panelists with a specialized knowledge of experience. And after that, you are going to conduct product testing, sensory evaluations, or focus group. And after conducting all of this, you are targeting feedback from qualified participants only. So one example of this, as you can see at the bottom, is, for example, let's say that you have a panel, you are a company that develops different fragrances, aromas, scents, all of this, and you have a panel of experts that specialize a panel of experts that is just specialized in fragrances. And in this case, for example, here you have all your panel of experts, and you're working on or developing a new perfume, and you want to test the fragrance. And for this specific study, let's say that you are going to call women in their 20s or 40s are like experts in fragrances. And after that, in the online community, you can send them an invitation where they can confirm the dates where they are going to be able to come to your office. So you have like a more limited of your panel that is going to come to your headquarters, your office, or the place where you are going to conduct the product testing or the study. And they are going to do obviously the product testing. And after doing the product testing, and they are going to answer a survey, giving their opinions, their insights, how they feel about the product, the scent, all of this. By answering this, they are going to receive a reward that is going to be managed through also Sphinx Community. Then we also have a user panel, and in this case, we are going to give an example of public transportation. So in here, you're basically going to be collecting insights directly from commuters. So for example, in this case, in your panel, you can target users by line, station, and at the time they travel. And this is going to allow you to get instant feedback from commuters in order to improve services and passengers' experience. So for example, here in my example, let's say that I already have my panel, and the group of people that are in blue is are the members of my panel that take the line 1 every single day. I mean line light blue, then the ones in green, the ones that take line green, the ones in red, the ones that take line red. But let's say today at the morning at 8 a.m. in the morning, an incident happened in line green. And because of that, I want to know the opinion of the people that were traveling at that moment in line green at 8 in the morning. So because that I already have that information in my panel, I know the people that are morning commuters are always taking line green at 8 a.m. in the morning. And after having this group of people, I am going to send them a survey to give a little bit so I can know what exactly happened, um what about what was the incident in the metro, how they handle it, and what we can do in order to improve their experience overall when taking public transportation. Then we have a niche market panel. And basically in here, you are going to get specific insights from very targeted communities or very niche groups. And for example, in here, you are going to recruit participants with very defined specific profiles in order to evaluate products, services, or habits linked to the specific niche they are part of. And this is going to allow you to gather detailed data on routines, app usage, and preferences. So for example, in here, let's say that I already have my panel of professional athletes, and I would like to run a study about swimmers that track their workouts via fitness app, or for example, using an Apple Watch or other type of smartwatch, because the client is developing a new product like this. So I would like to know how they feel about this. And in the end, I can send them a survey, or also they can come to my offices in order to participate in an in-depth interview or a focus group. Then we have an internal panel, and this is a way where you can keep your employees engaged and incentivize participation of your employees also in product development and all of this. So for example, one example of this is L'Oreal, because since they develop a lot of products, some of this information is very confidential. So for example, in here, you are going to do the testing with trusted employees because the study at the end is going to be confidential. Then you are going to get fast feedback because you are conducting the study in the same workplace, and you have like and you are going to have the prototypes and concepts like very close, and this is going to and you're going to and the incentives you're going to give for participating in this study is going to boost participation and engagement of your own employees, and at the end this is going to be a continuous cycle of innovation and improvement. So as you can see here in the example how it works, I at the beginning here I already have my panel of my employees, but I am launching a new fragrance in case of L'Oreal. So I'm just like going to pick up a certain some people of my panel, and after that I am going to send some product samples or some testers to these people, and after trying the product for a bit of time, they are going to do a survey. They are going to give their information, their opinions, and after that, they are going to receive a reward. And then we have the viewer and reader panel. This is mostly used for media companies, TV networks, editorial groups, because this is a way to understand habits and preferences and the impact that their type of media has. So for example, in this case, you can segment participants by channel, program, or type of media they consume, and you're going to collect feedback on content, ads, or engagement. And here you can track viewing or reading frequency and satisfaction. And in the end, this is going to be very useful because you are going to be able to improve programming and editorial strategies. So for example, here in my here in this case, let's say that I am a media company, and these are like some of the TV shows that I already have available. And I want to collect the opinions of the main target of this audience, for example, are adults. But I want to know how different opinions are among like adults. So for example, first I am going to need 50% of people, of adults that have children, and other 50% of adults that do not have children in order to conduct my study. And finally, we are going to have the consumer panel. And in here, you can manage insights for different industries. And first, you are going to have panels that are very representative of your location, for example, of your country, and all of this. And here you are going to have an easy segmentation because you can segment your panel by profiles and habits. And this is going to lead to a very quick deployment of concept tests and product feedback. And in the end, the incentives are going to keep your panelists engaged. So for example, in here, let's say you are consulting agency that does product testing. And for example, in here, you can test packaging, concepts, and images with real consumers. And this is going to allow you to validate the market hypothesis before launch of your client already has. And this is going to be very useful because this is going to prevent your client from avoiding costly product failures. And this is going to generate actionable insights in order to guide innovation. So after mentioning all the types of panels that exist out there, I am going to talk about how you can manage a panel with Sphinx Community. So first, what you are going to do is the recruitment process. And for example, in here, you can um, send them a survey in order to register to your panel, or you could already have, for example, let's say a database that you can import to register your panelists. And then you can profile your participants based on the study you want to conduct, you want to do or conduct. And in here, you are also going to manage their consent because since you are working with very delicate information information you manage of your panel is very private in some aspects, it's very important that you can have their consent. So going like a bit more in depth regarding the study management, the study management is going to be kind of the same as I explained at the beginning, with this all with the Sphinx that is going to be with you with the survey creation, starting in the survey creation. But however, in the multi-channel broadcasting, you are going to do all the broadcasting using the Sphinx Community, where you are going to be able to select your panelists, create campaigns, manage quotas, distribute the survey, do the fieldwork follow-up, and also analyze the data. Then you are going to do the data management. After that, the quantitative and qualitative analysis, and finally, the data visualization. So more specific related to the panel management, in o- so basically in here you are going to track activity and history. You can update and clean profiles that, for example, are users that are not participating that much or simply like have not answered in a very long time. You also can guide the new people that just joined your online community. You are going to manage the incentives you would like to give to your community. And finally, you can communicate with your panelists. So in order to understand a little bit better how the management of an online community using Sphinx Community works, we are going to do a little fictional case. So first, we are going to have three main actors in this case. So first, we are going to have our client. She is Jenna. She works for Bright Home. She is the marketing manager. And Bright Home is a company that specializes in cleaning products. Then we have Thomas. He is a consultant for a market research agency called MindSearch. And finally, we have Sophia. And Sophia for today is going to be our panelist, and she is going to be the one that is going to be answering to the survey and all of this. So the requirement is going to be the following. Jenna is asking Thomas if Thomas can conduct a study because her company wants to develop a new product, a new multipurpose cleaning product. So they want to know if the launch is feasible and how is going to be the reception of this product. So in order to understand how people feel, she is going to need participants that are between 20 and 40 years old. And for the quota, she is going to need 50% male and 50% female. And these individuals must be responsible for the household purchases, and they also must shop in physical stores, not online. So, Thomas, after getting this information, he is going to create a survey in Sphinx IQ3. So as you can see in here, this is the survey that Thomas has created for Jenna, as you can see in here. And before switching to the other platform, I want to show you how you can create one question in here. So for example, in here, the space that you see here in the middle is going to be your working area, where you are going to create the questions, a text, images, or everything that is like necessary to your study. So first, let's say that I want to add a background image for my study. You here, you already have like some templates, that some images that with the tool. However, you are going to be able to customize these images and also the design. You can incorporate your own images, and you're going to create your own templates, your own text format, and you can save this so like you can reuse this template later. And then let's say that I want to create a question. So I will go here to insert, and I go here to question, and let's explore a little bit about the question formats that we have in here. So here you have closed questions, you have like unique choice, multiple choice, drop down menu, drag and drop. Then you have scale questions, and this includes also NPS. Then we have open-ended questions where the person doing the survey can enter text, numerical data, codes, email addresses, a specific date or time. And also you have others. Um, and here, for example, you have an image map where the person can click on an image, address block, city, and also here you are going to ask your panelist the option to upload a document. And in here, besides the usual documents that are like Word, Excel documents, or PDF, you're also going to be able to add images, video, or audio documents. So in here, in order to create a question, I am going to go here to question. And for example, let's say I want to create a unique choice question. I click in this type of question. It's loading right now. And for example, let's say I want to know about the gender of my panelists. Then I am going to give a name to my variable. And here I'm going to put male and female. Here, and here you are going to move the question around. You can place it like in the place where you think it's going to be more convenient. And also in here, you can change the presentation of the question. For example, let's say that you want to change the color. For example, let's say that I want light blue. And also you here can change the presentation of the question. Right now it's in checkboxes, but I can also choose clickable items, chips, a drop-down menu, uh, whatever you like in this case. And also here you can like customize the font, the size, if it's going to be bold, underlined, cursive, all of this. So this is a little bit of a demonstration on how to create a question on Sphinx IQ3. I am not going to go very in deep with this right now because this is very extensive, but if you're interested, we already have another webinar where we did talk about this. And if you're interested, like just send us an email, just like reach out to us, and we are going to send you the webinar with all this information. So after saying all of this, after doing the survey, all of this, now comes the distribution of the survey. And in here, what I am going to do is here in Sphinx Community, I am going to create my campaign. So this is the platform in here. And for example, here in members, you are going to explore your community. And in here, when you click in here, you are going to have the information of your online community. For example, their age, um, for example, their shopping habits, all of this. And this is just an example. In the end, you can customize this type of information, the presentation, the dashboard, showing this information, you can customize it. So in order to create here a campaign, what I am going to do is I will go here to new campaign. And for example, since I'm doing like the uh, multi-purpose cleaner products, I am going to name it cleaning products, the name of my campaign, and I can add a tag because I would like to know like users and habits, so like HU. And for the description, we have the description in multiple languages because the same way as IQ3 can manage multilingual surveys, you can manage a multilingual online community. So in this case, I am going to add a friend, description of the campaign in French, one in English, and one in Spanish. Then, after giving the details of my campaign, I am going to select a survey in here, and that's it. And then I am going to go here to properties, and here we have first response type. If we want like to be a unique response, if we want to allow the panelists to modify the response after answering it, then here we can give a certain amount of points to our panelists for answering the survey. For example, let's say I want to give to my panel 50 points. Then you can here manage if the campaign is open or not, or if it's going to be open during a specific period of time. So you can manage here the opening date and the closing date. Then you have here the registrations, and this is important. Here, first you have automatically register new members. And in here, you are going to be able to generate a survey so the new participants or panelists have something to answer when they join, making them more engaged with the panel. And also you have active enrollment. In here, you are going to ensure that the same people are not the ones answering the surveys, because otherwise the study quality could decrease. So if you click this button, all those who have responded to this study cannot participate in study for, let's say, X amount of days. And finally, after saving the answers from the survey, you have the option to, let's say, display a thank you message or a message you want to customize, or redirect them to a different URL. And I click here on create after setting all this up. So right now I'm going to go to registrations because I would like to add the members of my panel. So here I click on registrations, and you have two options. You can register members by a specific criteria, or you can just select from the list of members. If you click here, you are going to have the list of your panelists, and you just click to the ones you would like to send. But this is not the point of the online community. The point in here is selecting by criteria. So I'm going to click selection by criteria, next. And in here, this is very important because, for example, when you register members, for example, here you can filter your panelists not only by their personal information, but also by activity within the panel, which is important because this is what makes working with a community management tool more cost effective and efficient than, for example, let's say working with Excel, because we see that several companies use Excel, and sometimes it can become a little bit complicated, a little bit tedious to register certain criteria or keep everything up to date. And this is why when managing an online community, and there are certain panel activity criteria that cannot be managed in Excel, like in a very easy way. So making it possible to manage panelists and criteria is a much more efficient way in order to manage your study. So first, you can some of the criteria you can filter. You have activity criteria. First, here we have by member. And here you can filter first by number of points. In here, for example, I want here, you can select people that have few points in order to encourage those that do not participate that much. Then you have response rate. And in here, this is very useful because in sometimes last minute surveys are carried out. You're going to need the people that are always answering surveys. Then you have profile date. And in this case, you can distinguish between more experienced members and newer ones. Then you have last response. And in here, you know who has been more active, and you can quickly retrieve to one of their answers. Then you have last connection, and this is going to let you know who was active very recently. And this is, it's also very important to mention that all of this can be combined. You don't need just to choose one of these in order to filter. You can do different types of combination. For example, one by member, one by campaign, one by management solicitation and participations, and that's it. Then regarding campaign, first you have previous registrations, and here you have people that were invited before to a specific survey. Then and secondly, you have previous answers, and here you have people who already answered to a specific questionnaire. Then we have the management of solicitations and participants. And first, here we have the number of requests. And here you can filter people who have recently received invitations in the last, let's say, X amount of days. And then you here can filter by number of participations. And here you can filter people who responded too frequently or complete too many questionnaires in, let's say, one day. And here you, after doing the filters by activity criteria, you can start filtering your panel by the profile criteria or campaign criteria. In this case, I'm going to do the profile criteria, and taking into consideration that Dulce asked me, and that Jenna asked me the criteria she wanted for this specific study. First, I am going to choose the variable gender, and I need to include male and females. I add this criteria, and then I also need the age to be between 20 and 40 years old. And I already have here my profile criteria. And after doing this, I am going to click here in count available members. And this is going to give me the number of members of my panel that fit this set criteria. And let's say that I want to limit the participation to 50 members of my panel because I only need 50 people for this study. I just limit the selection to 50 members. I click here in next, and this is all the people that fit the criteria for this specific study. I finish this. I click here because I want to register all these people. Click here in OK. And here you're going to have a summary of the people participating in your study. If they already started like answering, if they already finished, if the quote is full or if it's grayed out. And then I want to manage the quotas in here since I need 50% male and 50% female. Here I can manage the quota. Let's say I need 50% male and 50% female. So I put 50-50 and that's it. I don't need this quota. But if you would like to add another type of quota, you just like select the variable of what you need and you can do your quota based on that variable, on that characteristic. And then regarding the distribution, it's very important to add in here that you can create your own templates and all of this. And for example, in here, I have an example uh, of a message you can create and how it looks when the panelists receive the message through email. And for example, I have an invitation to one of my panelists where they participate in my study in this case. Wait, it's loading. And here, as you can see, this is a type of invitation that is going to be sent to the members of my panel. And you can create this template in here. And then you're going to manage the sendings. Let's say that you can send the survey like right now, or you can schedule a specific day to send the survey. So before going to the panelist profile, here in settings, uh, first you have the profile questionnaire that is going to be linked to your panel. Then here in members area, you can, for example, here edit the presentation or the look and feel of the website for your panelist. This is like how it's going to look the panelist profile. And then also you can manage like emails, for example, for validation, confirmation of registration, lost password sponsorship, or for gift cards. And finally, you have the reward store. And in here, you can manage the incentives for participating in your survey. As you can see here, you can include Amazon gift cards or, for example, a Mac or whatever gift you would like to give to your panelist. So after this, I am going to go to the panelist profile, and I am going to go in here. And as you can see, this is the main page. And for example, in here, let's say that I am a new person participating in this panel. I am going to update my profile. Wait a second. I am going to go here, and in here you are going to have your personal information. You can add your name, your age, and since you can manage the tool in different languages, you can create like the survey in different languages. And for example, if some of your information did change regarding some of your habits, consumption or whatever, you can change this in the survey. And after that, for example, let's say that I did receive an invitation for this specific survey. And here I am going to answer and go to the link of the survey, and I am going to start answering the survey. In this case, is the survey for the multi-purpose cleaning product. Wait a second. You are going to answer here. This is just a little example. And after collecting all this information, you are going to go here in Sphinx Online to Data Viz. That is going to be your analysis and also data visualization tool. So you are going to start processing this information in order to create a report. And for example, after collecting all the information from this all multi-purpose cleaning product, here I am going to create a dashboard or a report. And here, this is the report that I already created. As you can see, you can add different types of information. You can include maps. You can like group variables, include them, filter by certain characteristics. In this case, for example, let's say we can filter by sex. All of this. Then also you can do text analysis. You can create your own dictionaries, codified verbatims, all of this. And also you can do advanced analysis. In this case, for example, we did a K-means classification. But I would like to show you a little bit more about how this works and how Databit works in general. So I'm going to go here to create a new visualization, and I am going to give it a name. And in here, what I am going to have, all this white area in the center is going to be my working space. And how Dataviv works is very easy to understand. So what I am going to do in here first, I will take the variable that I would like to analyze. In this case, for example, let's say I would like to analyze the sex, the gender of my participants. I click on it, I drag it, and I will drop it on my working space. And here I will have already a graph with the information of my variable. However, if we would like, we can change the presentation of this graph. For example, a bar chart, a pie chart, icons, what you need. And also this is, you can customize the presentation, you can add colors, you can create templates, uh, all of this. And also, for example, let's say that I would like to do a cross analysis and I would like to see, for example, let's say the variable of if how the usage of cleaning products changes regarding how it changes depending on the gender. So for this, what I am going to do is I will have like my variable sex in here, and then I will choose my other variable. I am going to drag it and I am going to drop it here where it says cross, and the tool is going to do automatically a cross analysis. As you can see in here, and also you have the option to add a chart or a table, depending on what you would like to present. And that's it. This is a little bit of an example. And after that, let's explore a bit more in depth the analysis that we have here in this tool. So first, related to the advanced analysis, here are some of the analysis you can do. For example, you can analyze Net Promoter Score, NPS. You can also create a correspondence factorial analysis, then a principal component analysis, a multiple linear regression, a K-means classification. And here I would like to add that this icon that you see in here is the AI functionalities, and if one of the analysis has it, it means that the analysis has an AI interpretation available. And this is very useful because we know that like for some people interpreting like this type of information could be like a bit complicated, and this is going to make the research process a bit more manageable and easy to take. And we also do have a webinar about the presentation of the new AI tools here in Sphinx. And also, I would like to introduce what type of textual and semantic analysis we have. Here you can add verbatims, a cloud of keywords, expression clouds. Here you can codify all the verbatims, and that's it. And okay, after creating here my report, you can also do a web reporting. You have here the report. And here, what you are going to have is a report that is a little bit a summary of all your report, of all the study you did conduct. And in this case, you have the data entry that explains like a little bit more about the research process, what you did, the inputs, the outputs, the presentation of the results. And here the client is going to have access to the observation table of the people that did participate in this specific study, including all the information, all the variables. Then the client here also is going to have only an example of the survey. And then here, the report also is going to be available for them. And that's it. So this has been everything related to the presentation of Sphinx Community, IQ, and DataViv. So in conclusion, what we did today, we have explored what a panel is and its main purpose. And we also did review the different type of communities that we have out there. Then we introduce a tool to manage the panel effectively. And finally, we also cover the process of creating an analysis using the panel and our tools. So after that, if you're interested in contacting us because you would like to try that tool, you would like a free trial of our tool in order to, for example, create a survey or do some data analysis, or are interested in a Sphinx community, do not hesitate to reach out to us in the following on the following social media. First, follow us on LinkedIn, and also you can reach to us on sales@lesphinx.eu. And here is our website. And this has been everything for today. And in the following days, we'll be sending out the replay of this webinar. And that's everything for today. Thank you a lot and have a nice afternoon. Thank you.